What's up, guys? It's Catalyst47 here, back with another video. So, guys, it's been a long time coming. I know the banlist already. It's been out for like 3 weeks already, and I decided to. Well, I've been trying to think this whole time, because I know I told you guys I have a Dragon Link and a BA deck, and I already did the BA profile, and I've been trying to think of what I'm gonna do for the Dragon Link profile, since it doesn't seem like Dragon Link got hit that hard, but the Link Cross and the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword really hurts at least it makes the deck a lot harder to be competitive at like the higher level. So, I do think it's fair hits. Now being able to go into your extra deck is pretty OP for with the Dragon Buster lock. And then Link Cross is just it's too good of a card. Even if you interrupt the deck, because of Link Cross, they're able to still keep playing. So it's just, it needed to get hit, but yeah, that made Dragon Link. It's definitely not like a tier one deck anymore. I'm probably gonna say it's just a rogue deck at now. I don't even think it's tier 2, just because without Link Cross, and then that means you can't really play Herald of Arclight anymore either. So it's just those Link Cross, Herald of Arclight, those cards are really good in the deck. And then, like I said, same with the Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. So yeah, the deck is definitely in a more, I guess you could say it's more balanced, yeah, but it's definitely not a top tier deck anymore. So I've been trying to think about what I'm gonna do with the deck, and I think I finally come up with a build that I enjoy, and also that it's definitely not gonna compete with the top tier decks for sure, but I think it's still a very strong rogue deck. It can still be very strong, but I had to make a lot of changes compared to my previous list that I showed on the channel. I know I wasn't even running, I did buy Link Cross at some point, maybe a month before the ban list actually hit in November, and I was running the deck with Link Cross and all that stuff, but there's no tournaments anyway, so it's it didn't even really matter. But anyways, a lot of people have been going back to well, not exactly the same, but kind of making it similar to Shumping Yu's deck from the beginning of the year. With just, of course, Hockey Fibrax didn't get banned, so you can still run Hockey Fibrax. But Shumping Yu's build before would end with with Abomination, Savage, and you could have Seal, or you could have Romulus on the extra monster zone, which it's not it's a terrible board, but it's definitely not that strong to compete in the meta right now. And then a lot of times, because of the errata on Red Eyes Darkness Metal, because of that, the deck it can't really have the interruption that often with having a rocket to be able to look at the opponent's extra deck with Silver Rocket and banish a card, or with Magna Rocket to you can't really have the interaction with Abomination and the rockets. So yeah, it wasn't really a very strong board, to be honest. And so I decided I was like, what am I gonna do? Because I didn't want to use that previous version, because like I said, I don't think it's that strong. I wanted to find a way to because the only way, honestly, for the deck to still be able to be okay against interruption cards is for you to be able to get Appaloosa on the field. You need to be able to get Appaloosa onto the field. So I decided to not completely change, but I did make a lot of changes to the deck, and that's why we're here, so I could showcase the deck. Like I said, I do think this is definitely strong. It's better. I feel like it's definitely better than the version with Shumping Yu's version of having Abomination and Savage. Sometimes Seal, definitely better than that. But I guess I'll let you guys be the judge of that. And without further ado, let's get started with the deck profile. Alright guys, so this is going to be the Dragon Link deck that I'm running right now. So let's get started. So we still have triple Starleech Seyfert. I do think, I know a lot of people have been running this card at 2 or even 1 sometimes, which personally I don't like that. First of all, look how shiny. I don't know if y'all can say it that well, but really shiny. I think Saber's a really good card. Not only as a starter, but it's also a good. I mean, not necessarily extender that much, but the fact that it can get you 11 year back into your hand is really good, and it's a light monster, which will it goes well with like some of the other cards in the deck. So yeah, I personally like it at 3. And then of course the baby dragons. I mean, they're at 1 for a reason. So you absolutely have to run those. Now going into the rocket stuff, I'm running triple rocket tracer. Like again, this is another card that I've seen a lot of people cut down to 2. Most people cut it down to 2. I don't think not really many people are running it at 1. But again, it's the best rocket, so I feel like running it at 3 is fine. I mean, I've never really had too much issue with it, because sometimes if you hard open it and you have other cards other cards, it's actually good, because you don't have to like it'll help you play through hand traps if you have the right cards to go with the rocket tracer. So yeah, we got 3 tracer, and then we got 1 silver rocket. I mean, just a target for tracer. 1 rocket recharger, which is definitely like it's just a really good card to go like for when you're turn 3 or whatever, or on your second turn, being able to use it to you can use this card with Striker Dragon to bring back something else, like a Red Ice Darkness Metal or something. And then we got the last one, Rocket Synchron, which this is just basically one of your Hockey Fibrax targets, since I am running Hockey Fibrax in the deck. And it's also, I mean, if you have to, then it's also a good normal summon to be able to get like a level 7 back and go into a level 8 synchro. And then the 1 Absol. I mean, it's just, if you draw it, it's fine too. It's a good extender, and it's just another card to, if you're going to use it with Ravine, to search for your tracer if you don't open tracer. So that's basically it for like the rocket stuff. And then on the other set of starters, I'm running 3 Black Metal Dragon. You just really want a good amount of cards to be able to start your plays. And this card lets you search for the Red Ice Darkness Metal. So we want to see this or Seyfried in your opening hand. Seeing both is not the end of the world, but yeah. I just wanted to maximize the chances of me seeing one of them in my opening hand. And of course, the Red Ice Darkness Metal. I mean, just a really good extender. And now, so I guess y'all seen a few of the changes now. Actually, I think the only change really is, I mean, yeah, I cut down some of the rockets from before, because I was playing a heavier rocket lineup when I wasn't running Link Cross. And then, of course, I added the Rocket Synchron as a target for Hockey Fibrax, and the 3 Black Metal, because I was only running 1 Black Metal before. And now going into triple Noctivision Dragon. Again, I was running this card at 2, but now that, because of another card that I have in the extra deck, I decided to maximize this card at 3. And it's just, again, a really good extender. You also really want to try to see it in your opening hand if you can. So, yeah. I mean, it summons itself and you get to draw a card. So good. Then the 1 Chaos Dragon Levianeer, which, I mean, nothing needs to be said. Every Dragon Link deck needs that card. And then the 1 Brotar lets you search basically anything in the deck. Really good card. And now this is where we start getting into a lot of the different cards that I've been running. Actually, I decided not to run any hand traps in the deck, just because, I mean, of course hand traps are important, but the thing is, hand traps actually, I feel like now that Link Cross is gone and you need more resources to go into the big boards. I feel like hand traps, all they do is just slow you down, or they don't allow you to push through certain interruptions. So I decided to cut all the hand traps out, because I feel like having more extenders just makes it so that you can play through interruption. So the first one being the Galactic Spiral Dragon, just a really good extender as well. And it lets you go into your number 38, which is also in my extra deck. And yeah, it's even if you draw it, it's a good card, because it's in the grave. If it's in the grave or in your hand, if you control 2 or more light or dark dragons, you can just special summon it. So super good. And then we have the 1 Keeper of the Shrine. Another card that's good if it's in your graveyard or your hand, I believe too. But basically, I believe if it's a dragon that's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can just special summon this card, and it doesn't get banished. Its effects once per turn though, hard once per turn. So it's just another extender. And then last but not least, these. I mean, I'm playing the rose package, basically one red rose dragon and one white rose dragon. The red rose is your other target for Hockey Fibrax, so there's two targets in the deck, red rose and rocket synchron. And then the white rose is just I mean, this card is honestly just a good extender. Like, I mean, it'd be nice if you could get the effect, like summon it from the deck with red rose, but even if you draw the white rose, it's honestly, it's a good extender. You just have to have, I believe, like a dragon tuner, which you could have this, or you could have rocket tracer. So yeah, this is like I just feel like you need one of each, honestly. Not a big deal. I would not run more than one of each. So yeah, just another target for Hockey Fibrax, and this is another extender. And that's it for the monsters, guys. Now we're going into the spell cards. We got triple Chaos Space. Of course, this is an absolute must at 3. Absolutely broken card. And this card makes a lot of your combos like very strong. So yeah, I don't see why you would not run that at 3. Then we got, of course, the E-Telly for Rockets, triple quick launch. Again, absolutely busted a card, need to run it at 3. Not a hard once per turn, and just a free body on the board. And then we got the best extender probably of the spell cards, 3 World Legacy Guard Dragon. Just like I was trying to say earlier, now that you don't have Link Cross or anything like that, you need cards that will help you play through Interruption, this is a perfect card to do that with. So yeah, and you want to max. I mean, even though it's a once per turn, I'd rather draw 2 of this than none at all, you know. So that's why I maximized it. And then going into the field spells, I'm going with 2 Boot Sector Launch. I put this card back. Wait, I don't know if in the last deck build I was running it at 1, but for a while I had been running it at 1. But now I put it back up to 2 because I mean, I know it's not like the Rocket lineup is bigger now. It's smaller than when I first started running this deck. But I just feel like this card is still really good. Like, you want to have it for the grind game, especially now that a lot of the top tier decks are definitely more grindy, I guess. They don't, I mean some of them can OTK you, but like some of them do not, and they're more control based. Having a second one for like turn 3 is just really good to get your rockets back. And the one target for Romulus, the Ravine, I'm not playing, well, yeah, like I said, now with Link Cross gone, not playing Divine Lance or, plus I was playing it for a little while, like I said, but I even with Link Cross there, like I hated those cards, the Divine Lance and Phalanx. I think you don't want to draw those cards. And then we got the one Monster Reborn, another extender. And then the last 2 cards are basically cards to help you load up your grave. The one Foolish Burial and the one Dragon Shrine. So these cards go really well with Galactic Spiral Dragon, with Keeper of the Shrine, or you could even send something like that you want to bring back. Like, let's just say for some reason you didn't open Tracer and then they negated your Romulus or something, so you couldn't get your Ravine. If you happen to have one of these in your hand, you can still get the Tracer to the graveyard, and if you can bring out Pisty, then you can still keep going with your combos. So yeah, really good cards to get stuff in the graveyard. And that's basically it. 40 cards in the main. Like I said, no hand traps because I don't like the fact that, I mean, yes, hand traps are good for interruption, especially if you're going second. But even if you're going second, if you're able to interrupt your opponent, but maybe you can't completely stop them, like if they still have a few interruptions, like let's say you open up 2 hand traps or something, and your opponent only ends on like 1 interruption. So you're going to have 4 cards in your starting hand. And the deck is definitely, like I said, not as strong as it used to be. So you definitely, this deck can't really play that well through interruption anymore. So I'd rather try to break their board with more extenders than have than have than have less cards to start with, because my board's not gonna end that big if I only have like 3 or 4 cards to start with my combos. And then I guess the other reason is just that if you get to go first, then yeah, you have all the extenders now. Like if you're going first, this is definitely more of a going first deck. So yeah, if you're going first, then you have all the extenders. Even if your opponent has a few hand traps, like this deck can play pretty well through like for sure 1. 2 is a little more difficult. Like you have to have like a certain kind of hand or like certain cards. But 3 is probably, I mean, most decks can't really play through 3 hand traps anyway. So yeah, I don't think you can play through 3 with this deck, to be honest. But yeah, let's get on with the extra deck. So we got triple Striker Dragon. I've been playtesting it, and honestly, you don't really need, well, you don't really go, if you're able to get your combos through, like you're hardly ever gonna need more than 2. And if your opponent has no interruption for some reason, you only need 1, honestly. So yeah, but the reason I run 3 is because, I mean, your opponent's most likely gonna have some interruption, so you might need the second one for sure in your opening turn. And the third one's just there like for the grind game. If you can't, like if your opponent breaks your board, turn 3 you still have another one to go into. Then of course we got the LP and Pisty. I'm so glad LP didn't get banned, guys. So happy. And I don't think it should. The deck's not even really doing anything in the competitive scene, so I really don't think LP needs to get banned. But yeah, absolute must. Then of course the seal. I mean, really good card, honestly. The Romulus. Again, another staple for the deck. It's been a staple for a very long time. And the 1 Hockey Fibrax. I mean, this card is just good to bring out more stuff and be able to keep extending. So then we got the 1 Protector. This card's just good, like in case you need to get rid of, like your guard dragons or something, and you don't want to be locked into like dragons only or something like that. Then this card's just good, and it's nice that it just has 2 monsters. It doesn't specify anything like dark or dragon or anything. And then the 1 Delintrous Dragon. I mean, this card is good to also get rid of like your guard dragons or cards you don't really want on the field to free up space. But it's also a good extender with the rockets. So yeah. And then we got the Appaloosa. This is like the card that you want to try to make every game. And you want to try and make it, of course, before you get your guard dragons out. That way your opponent can't interrupt you anymore. We got the Boral Sword for if you go in second or your turn 3, whatever. You want to OTK people, which is good for OTK. And it's a dragon too, so really good. And then we got the number 38. I mean, since we're running Galactic Spiral Dragon, this card is definitely a must in here. Yeah, it's a really good interruption card. I mean, it's a negate, so pretty good stuff. And then it's not a rocket deck if you're not running, or a Dragon Link deck if you're not running Borreload Savage, Omni Negate, so you have to run this card. And the last card is the Chaos Ruler. No wait, yeah, the Chaos Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon. Even though this card's not like, oh my god, you don't see it in a lot of decks, I feel like one day this card's gonna be absolutely busted. I mean, because even now it's like it's a really good card. It helps you. Not only is it like, actually that's like an extender on an extender. Like it lets you excavate the top 5. You add a lighter dark from those excavated. The rest go to the graveyard. So it lets you load up your graveyard, and then when it's in the graveyard, you can banish your lighter dark to special summon it back. Like that's so good. But yeah. So that's it, guys. That's it for the deck. I mean, I'll probably make another video in the next few weeks, like doing like a test hand and combo tutorial with this updated deck profile for the Dragon Links. And yeah, like I said, guys, this is not like top tier. I don't feel like Dragon Link are tier 1 anymore. But I think this deck, in the hands that I've been playing with right now, I've really been enjoying it. Like, yes, like I said, it doesn't have the hand traps, but I just feel like you don't really, I'm not saying you don't need hand traps at all, like, but I just feel like in this deck, hand traps just slow the deck down, just because you can't make, if you have less cards in your hand, you can't make the big boards or play through interruptions as well. So I'd rather not have hand traps. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and hope you guys liked the deck profile video, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.